Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. Is it working now? Someone you got to spawn right away, otherwise I can't tell. Hello, hello. Yes. All right. There we go. Button needs to be on solid red. Where do I catch Lakers? In any place that has safe ice right now, we'll have Lakers for the most part. That being said, there's not a lot of places that have safe ice. All right, who else is on? Do I ice fish Vermont? Yes, I do. I've ice fished Champlain or Southern Champlain. I've ice fished Caspian once. And I used to live in Vermont, so I used to do a lot of the smaller ponds for crappie and bass and that kind of stuff. That's where I first kind of really got started ice fishing. Where do I ice fish in Vermont? It would be Champlain would be my best bet to go, but it is not frozen. I guarantee it's not frozen because Winnipesaukee. I drove around the entire lake today, and most of it's open. Meredith Bay is pretty much slush. Winter Harbor slush. 19 Mile has ice. 20 Mile has ice. Melbourne Bay has ice. Moultonborough Bay area has ice. The top side of Long Island on the eastern side has ice, but I don't know if it's safe. I am not a guide in any state right now. But there are some guides up there. Stay Bent Fishing. He's a kind of an acquaintance, but he guides in Vermont. Thickest ice I've seen this year is like 7 inches almost. You were seeing fish that were 5 feet long. Are you sure about that? That doesn't sound right at all. But yeah, for ice thickness, I've seen all the way up to 6 or 7 inches on Winnie. Yeah, you send me photos boosted. Oh, okay, I was on the boat, obviously. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to share. Share my page here. Oh, with this thing in the way live chat. What's going on? Your bodies probably don't swim. I remember you showing me like fishing, and they kept coming in and out of Panoptics. So, what could be 5 feet long on Winnipesaukee? I'll check. See all messenger. Hold on, I need to use my phone instead because Facebook for computers is a piece of junk. 19 Mile Bay. What am I looking for? New Hampshire ice fishing. I'm still looking. Were they moving? It won't let me send it to Bennett Fishing. So I don't. So the scale is set to 5 feet. Any Wisconsin lakes that are good? I have never fished anywhere in Wisconsin. Actually, I have fished Wisconsin. I fished the harbor there with Aricadia for giant browns and pike and steelhead. About 5 feet. Those actually look. So since it's right under your sonar boosted, I think that's part of your ghost tree. Especially if they seem to follow you around. So the ghost tree is kind of like a bevel, especially in the forward mode. And if you have it tuned right, it'll be just 2 little bumps on the bottom, and they'll kind of like haunt you, but they're not real. If boosted is fine with me showing the photo, I will. It's going to be through my camera, of course, but yeah, you know what? I'll just show it. The glare is going to be problematic, but that bump right there and that bump right there. And I'm pretty, here, I'll hold it still for a little bit longer. There we go. Those 2 little bumps. So that's the bottom right there. It's a small separation. Pretty sure that's your ghost tree. Because I mean, there is probably 5 foot fish in Winnipesaukee. The best baits for Lake Winnipesaukee are these. I will send you a link right now. So when I first started fishing Winnipesaukee, everybody's like, yeah, you need this, you need that, you need that. And I finally learned from somebody who knew what they were doing and was religiously catching fish. And so I started making baits like that. I mean, there might a 5 foot long cusk. I mean, a cusk or even a Laker is 60. It would be a state record. There's only one spot that I ice fish for Lakers on Champlain, and I'm not willing to share it. So if you go watch some of my other videos, you can kind of figure out where I am, and I'm not going to say it, just because it's not a big area. Where we fish is very, very tiny, and it doesn't freeze very often. See who else is on here. Got 13, 14 people. And I will be, so I'm doing, I have ice fish for walleyes. We don't have them here in New Hampshire. So I've gone to Montreal actually to go fish for them. And I've gone for them in Vermont, but I didn't have my YouTube channel up and running yet. I don't think sturgeon are in Winnipesaukee, otherwise it'd be listed. I think it's your ghost tree, so it'll kind of move around on the screen, but it won't physically move, and your depth will change, and it'll change shapes and stuff like that. But and I probably have, I don't have a picture of the ghost tree on my computer right now. If it's tuned right, it'll look like two little bumps, but you can't really get rid of it entirely. Hold on, I'm switching screens here. It might move depending on what the water's doing. Like it'll try to like reassess. Basically, what the beams are doing is like here's the bottom of your sonar, looking in the water, and so there's individual beams that are shooting off at different angles, and where they cross, they actually interact with each other. Oh yeah, the sturgeon and the Merrimack, but I don't think they're in. Probably not Winnipesaukee anymore. Also, I've seen perch like bundle up like that, especially on Winnipesaukee, that look like they're a fish, and they like move. They're so freaking tiny that they move close together and they look like a fish. I would not make a 2.5 hour trip to 19 Mile, and I was there today, and it's a giant slush fest. Snow Dog is running good, except for I swamped it with slush today, and I have a small oil leak with the reverse. I didn't go to Levitt Park today, and I don't think I'm going to do the Derby this year, unless I can go religiously catch 15-inch crappie or bigger. There's no sense of me doing the Derby. It's spending a lot of money for the slight chance that I'm going to win. Like if I'm going to go do it, I'm going to go do it hard. I'm going to go fish all 3 days. I don't think I'm going to do it. And what I try to do business-wise and family-wise is I try to fish during the week, and I have the weekends for myself and my family. But I was at a fly fishing show Sunday. I'm at a fishing show this Saturday. So who's going to the fishing show in Massachusetts this Saturday? I will be there. See perch bundles? Yeah, they are very shiny. Let me look up where Levitt Park is. Oh, Levitt Park is definitely not frozen. If you're talking about the one that's like in Laconia, there's no freaking way. Because Meredith Bay was open, Center Harbor had ice, but it was not safe from what I was seeing. No, it's the Boxborough. The New England Fishing Show. I think it's New England. I just type with one hand. This is where I'm going. And then you were mentioning the Westport show. I'm actually going to be. Yeah, I've never been to the New England Expo. DJ, which one are you talking about? The one in Westport on the February 4th and 5th? I'm guessing this one. So when you're fishing for Lakers, you want to kind of find a ledge. Doesn't matter if it's rock or not. If it's just a steep incline or a hump, there can be rocks on top, but I don't normally like go look for rocks unless I'm fishing for cust. But on Winnipesaukee, there's a lot of like mud basins, and if the smelt's in there, that means the Lakers are in there. So yeah, so the Trident. So I'm going to the seminar this week, or going to the New England Fishing Expo this weekend, which is Saturday. And then the weekend after that is the Tried and True Expo, Fishing Expo in Westport, Massachusetts. I'm actually teaching a lake trout seminar there on Saturday. So if you're going to be there, you'll see me talking. And I have to spend some time next week making that seminar because I haven't done it yet. I'm running out of time. Yeah, Tried and True is Mel True's company who's hosting it, and I've gone fishing with him 3 or 4 times. Lake trout fishing with him, black sea bass, a charter with him, and then a Tautog trip, commercial. He's a good guy. Mm-hmm. What else you guys got for questions? So, well, here's a question for you guys. Do you like the content that I'm putting out so far this year? I'm trying extremely hard and putting in like a ton of foot miles and truck miles driving around the state, finding ice, jigging for fish, trying to do overnights. I was trying to do an overnight once. Thank you, Boosted. I was trying to do an overnight trip once a week for the whole season, and I just can't do it. Like, scheduling wise, it's a nightmare. Between having a kiddo and snowstorms and holidays and all that crap, it's been a nightmare so far. So I'm trying to do one every other week. I'm trying to do a overnight tomorrow night is the plan in the snowstorm. Keep everybody on their toes. And it's going to be a warm body, so it's going to be crappie and bass, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's the plan. I will be doing an overnight in Winnipesaukee this year, and probably up in I'm trying to do a catch and clean and cooking for Cusk as well, and I don't know any spots that are frozen yet that have Cusk. I'm sure there's spots that have Cusk, but I don't want to go sleep on the ice for, like, those trips are 24 hours, like, of like nonstop being on camera, fishing, messing with stuff. I want to go on one of my good spots and go for Cusk, if that makes any sense. Thank you, Quenisha. So barometric pressure, I started getting really detailed into barometric pressure last year ice fishing, and barometric pressure doesn't swing up and down so much during the summertime. It swings up and down in the wintertime. And there's actually, let me see if I can find the right here. So actually, you know what? Let me send you a link. So this is actually what I use as a starting point, and I actually use an app on my phone to actually do barometric pressure. And then what I use for Cusk bait for my set lines is just medium shiners. on a snelled hook. That's all I use. I have used dead cut bait, but they usually just rip it off. So with the live shiner, they actually have to attack it and actually swallow it, so they actually get that damn hook. For jigging, I just use my normal. I actually have one on my freaking desk for once. 7mm jig and my paddle tails, which is available on my website. You can scroll up and get the link for that if you want. Yeah, my Dan hole is actually currently open. I had somebody that I knew check that the other day, and I really want to go up there. And I'm thinking of. So here's a couple of big news things. I haven't released to anybody until you guys. So I have a new version, a new and improved version of this bait that's coming out soon. I'm getting specialty molds made, or molds made that match this or close to this. It's really just a profile thing, because I'm trying to match a smelt. It doesn't really look like a smelt, but it works pretty well, or works really well. So the molds that I bought initially are silicone molds, and they're actually starting to deteriorate, and they really don't make them anymore. And they're a pain in the ass. So what I'm doing is I'm buying aluminum molds so I can make things more consistent and faster for you guys, because I've sold a ton of the Winnie kits, and I just packaged 2 of them, shipping them out the door tomorrow. And I'm making a pin smelt bait that is even smaller profile than this. So if they're on pin smelt style fish or smelt, like the baby smelt, basically, I'm going to be making a mold for that as well. And then I'm going to be starting to switch the channel more into like lake trout fishing throughout the year. Just because it seems like my channel is kind of going that way with the baits that I'm selling and fishing Sebago and Champlain. And I'm still going to do fly fishing, and I'm still going to do striper fishing, and I'm going to try to start making some striper baits as well and try to get that, because those things make me the most money, and that provides me the access to make more content for you guys. So that's the news that's coming up, besides the fishing shows for the next 2 weekends. Sebago is not going to freeze this year. I'm taking a bet on that right now. That being said, I have a Sebago video backlogged that you guys haven't seen yet from this fall. It wasn't a hammer trip like it was earlier in the fall. Ryan and I went back and we caught a dozen plus. See you, DJ. So there is a Sebago trip planned. I need to have my boat looked at in the month of February to have it just kind of like tuned up, and I'm buying all new lithium batteries for the boat. So it will be out in the boat sooner than later, especially with the freaking weather that we're having here. But it's supposed to be cold the next couple of days, which is nice. If it stops snowing, I'll have more access to spots. And if it stays cold, because slush on the ice is not good for anybody. But I don't plan on fishing Sebago this year. Haven't even bought my main license yet this year, just because either we have to go up the Moosehead or one of the southern lakes there that Ryan knows. But even Moosehead is a hike. Let me see how long it takes to get up there. Yeah, Moosehead for me is like 7 hours, 8 hours if I go the other way. Why did that? I didn't even. No, that's not the right. Just took me in the wrong direction here. No, it's 4.5 hours. I don't hunt. I went hunting last year for a little bit. I never made a video out of it, but I used to hunt. I used to deer hunt and turkey hunt and grouse hunt, and I've shot 1 grouse. That's the only thing I've ever shot. And I used to do sporting clays and stuff like that before I got heavy into fishing. But it's really tough to do and manage all of that gear and all of that like flopping through content. So I'm just sticking with fishing right now. Yeah, I know. My fall fishing content is really tough to put out because I know everybody else is out in the woods. I have not gone to Western Mass for pike. I have gone for pike in New Hampshire. You guys didn't really watch that video that much last year, but I know they're out there. I know the Connecticut River setbacks have them. Just not really my thing. Hey, Canada Fishing Channel. I haven't checked on you in a while there. I don't think Sebago will be freeze this year. I mean, there was legit whitecaps on there 2 days ago, 3 days ago. We would have to get a severe cold snap in the month of February for like 4 days straight, 5 days straight with no wind. But if it does freeze, I'll be there. Yeah, thank you. I have not fished with Tim Moore. Him and I chatted a little bit, not this fall, but last fall, to do some content together. And we never got around to it. And then I asked him in the middle of ice fishing season. It's like I fished 6 days a week nonstop during the ice fishing season because that's when he's the busiest. The same with me. So we just never got around to it. I think I might invite him up to like either Sebago or he goes to the same spot I go in Champlain as well. So it'd be fun to have him on the channel, get some friendly competition going. But yeah, I have some new baits coming for you guys. New baits, and I'm going to be hopefully working on some swim baits and like some bigger swim baits for Sebago. Besides the Super Glow Grub, which is what I make right now. This guy right here. And then I plan on maybe making some tubes as well. But I got to figure out I know how to do it. I just got to figure out if I'm going to sell hooks or not, it's just the pain in the butt part. And how many of you like my crappy fishing videos? Because I'm going to be doing some more of that just because a lot of so right now I would go fish if they were frozen. I would go fish Great East Lake, or I would go fish Winnisquam, or I would go fish Newfound. I have gone to another one that I'm not going to mention a couple of times and been skunked a couple of times on foot. And I've also gone to, even Pittsburgh, and that wasn't frozen on January 1st. But I think my lake in Pittsburgh is probably frozen right now. But all right, who else? Thank you, Jason. Who else likes crappie? I have caught some bass this year. I've caught, I think, one pickerel. I got broken out by one the other day. I have not fished Diamond Pond. That is on my radar. But it is a hike to get up there. So, and I know it gets hammered by people. So it's really a shot in the dark kind of trip. Possibility of catching big fish is up there. But if I go up there, I'm going to have to spend an overnight, and I can't. There's no cusk in that lake, so I can't fish during the night. So it's kind of fish until like 4:30, and then I have nothing to do until 6 o'clock the next morning. I'm guessing there's no service in that lake. Just a wild guess. But I know that's frozen. People are up there on January 1st. I am an hour from the Meredith Bay boat launch. I don't plan on guiding in the future. I've thought about it. I thought about it a couple years ago, and people keep asking me to either one, take them out and guide them. But in order to do that in New Hampshire, I need to study a bunch, pass a test, a written test, and then an oral test, and then I get my guide's license. And the problem with guides is they don't get to fish. So I get to go out and fish 2 or 3 times a week. I don't always catch something. And then I get to do a little bit of editing, and then I share it with you guys. Where guides like Tim Moore spend 6 days a week untangling people's lines. Seeing people catch fish is obviously the funnest part, but they don't fish as much as I do, which is why I'm not a guide. I mean, obviously, currently they make more than I do. I don't make a ton of money doing this, but the more baits you buy, the more money I make. So there's some sort of power line easement. We got like 16 people on here a minute ago. We got 13 now. This is good. I'm gonna try to do this, probably every other week. I was doing every week last year, and it just becomes a little too much. I haven't tried to sell them at any bait shops yet, and the reason for that is I'm still hand pouring. I can't keep up with the orders that I have currently because I'm trying to make at least 10 kits to sell at the Tried and True Expo, and that's 10 times 40. That's 400 baits. I would have to make an entire gallon of baits. And that's like hours and hours worth of work. So right now, I don't have the capacity to sell to people. Besides, like, if you place an order now, I try to make it the next day, and then they have to cure, and then I sell it the next day. So I'm not selling at any bait shops yet. Not at that size. What I'd like to do at some point is, get to the size where I can sub out people making my baits, and I just ship them myself. Like, have someplace make a shit ton for me, and then I just get them here, and then I package them and ship them myself, which would be the nicest thing to do. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh yeah, I can imagine there's not a lot of ice on Champlain. I keep seeing pictures of freaking people still jigging in their boats and catching like monster walleyes out of Champlain. Which I think if I was gonna go do that, those videos would do well. But I don't know where to catch walleyes on Champlain. My cousin does, Woods and Weeds Outdoors does, but his boat's away. My boat's currently away, but it'll be out next week or the week after for service, and then I'm gonna buy some batteries. So, and me buying batteries is like $1,000 for lithium. So, keep buying baits to support my habit. I'm exhausted. So I went out 19 Mile Bay, did a couple miles on the Snow Dog, like literally just locked it up with slush. Ruined part of the frame, unfortunately, but I'm sure it's fine. And then went out again after I cleared it, got it stuck again, had to bring it back. Went out to Melvin Bay, saw 2 Lakers on foot after walking like 1,500 feet, and said, "Screw that! I'm gonna go drive around the rest of the lake and check ice." And that's what I did. And then I slept in my car for a little bit and picked up the kiddo. That was my day. That's why I look exhausted, because I am. But my newest video is doing well. The camping video is doing well. Yeah, the Snow Dog is freaking sweet. I really liked my last one a little bit more, even though it was underpowered. It was just a little bit lighter and a little bit sweeter. This new one is definitely a beast with the 13.5 horse. I wish it wasn't so. It's kind of like top heavy, if that makes any sense. But I could buy the slider suspension for it and do a little bit better on snow, which is where I am most of the time. I don't use it on dirt. Snow Dog. I could probably just ask him to send me, and they could probably just send it to me. The Snow Dog Sport that I have now weighs 320 pounds, 330. Let me check. I think it's 330. 342. I was right in between the two numbers. So it's fairly heavy. It's still lighter than any snowmobile out there. Yeah, we do have more snow coming, and it's a little freaking ridiculous. I just want, like, if we didn't get snow all winter long and it was just cold, like we want some snow to make it not brown, like the first snowstorm we got. If that just stayed and it was cold, I'd be happy. But the snow is ridiculous. Tomorrow is going to be probably a struggle. And I haven't decided if I'm going to be sleeping in the pop-up tomorrow night or the flip over tomorrow night. I got to see what the wind is supposed to be like. I think the flip over might be better in the wind because it's like aluminum frame and there's no way for it to collapse really. I think the Weather Channel could put about 10 more million ads on the thing. That'd be nice. Yeah, I saw those big pike. I know quite a few pike spots in in Vermont that are awesome. And I was a bass fisherman when I was in Vermont, so they were just annoying. So I never really targeted them. But maybe I'll go for pike this year. I'll try to jig for them and tip ups, of course. But ice has been scarce. I've been just thinking about striper fishing and open water fishing. Yeah, they make them as resilient as they can. The 450 XD has kind of a slippery coating on it compared to the 949 that I have. Yeah, congrats on the 1000. Takes freaking forever to get there. Is your money turned on yet? So that's the hard part. But yeah, the new one I have, the 450 XD, is a little slipperier coating. Like, it's got more of a water resistant coating. But like, if they just made a support pole for like heavy weather that went on the inside, you could hold up a lot of snow just because it's designed that way. Like, especially if you have ropes all the way around. But yeah, that's same with me. I don't know how many ice fishing videos I put out there, but I was doing good, and then we had all that warm weather, and then I had to peter off there. But I still have some open water videos to edit for the spring. Yeah, camping in the pouring rain was fine. Like, I stayed perfectly warm and dry in there. The problem was like the water was all rushing down my hole. When I woke up, like, there was not a lot of ice underneath me. That was the scary part. So next time I'm gonna drill, like what I did in the morning is I drilled holes all around my shack on the outside to let that water rush out there first instead of into my shack. So I might do that next time if it's raining. But we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I think I'm gonna, I don't know, pulling my flip over will be more of a strain for the snow dog than pulling just my pop up. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I could probably actually just bring both in my truck and then decide what I'm gonna do when I get there. See how much snow is over there. Yeah, so for let me look at Wally. Yeah, your videos are doing well, Wally. You got some up there, 3,300, 941. Anything expensive gets lots of views, like your old town. Yeah. No, the snow is not helping the ice that's already there. What is helping the lake freeze because it creates like slush on top, and then that freezes easier than just open water. But about so Wally, you probably have your money turned on, right? But for Jonas, the best way to get watched hours is to do this. What I'm doing right now is live. Because what's happening is you have 16 people on here, let's say, and everybody watches for an hour, that's 16 hours right there. Like, it adds up pretty quick. Wally, what town and state are you in? Because I see your Mass, New Hampshire, Maine. People never know where I am either. I've been starting to say in videos I'm actually in New Hampshire. In New Hampshire. Yeah, the best way to. Okay. Like down towards Keene, or are you up more? Oh, so you're CT. Out by Silver Lake. I actually fished Silver Lake recently and did not catch any. I didn't even. I saw one lake trout by shore as I needed to leave, and I've actually thought about going there and doing a video out there. But all right. Well, one of the problems, like I was just saying earlier in the video, is I only fish during the week. So if you can't fish during the week, then you can't make it happen. Unless I get special permission from the boss, which is my wife, to go out on the weekend. Oh, nice. Michigan. Yep. I wish I lived in either Vermont, where I had access to Champlain. Because if I was in Vermont, I'd be doing or near Champlain, I'd be doing boat and then ice, then boat, then ice, then boat, then ice. Because ice is so shitty this year, but. Got a bunch of people on. Hopefully I answered all your questions, but tomorrow is an overnight. I haven't really fished anything in upstate New York, but upper Vermont is definitely pretty dang good. There's a lot of glacial lakes, have lake trout. Lake Champlain is obviously a beast. Yeah, one of the CT River setbacks would be nice. I think I fished one of them last year and just got some big perch, and that was it. I was going for walleye, but that was when the main river was frozen enough to take the snow dog on. So, oh yeah, he was just there. He said the crappie were being dicks. Maybe we'll all get out on freaking. I've only fished 2 of the landings. I was out I was out in the snow dog with 6 inches today, 7 inches out, and then I went out to this point where I knew there was a ice. What do you want to call it? Big water meets small water. A pressure crack. Sorry, there's a pressure crack between the two, and I drilled through a foot of snow, and then the auger went right the fuck through. Sorry for swearing. Google. Went right through it. It was like this much ice. So the snow dog is only 300 pounds, 350 pounds. So I know people that weigh that much standing on ice. So it's actually safer if I was standing next to something that weighed 350 pounds, I'd rather stand next to a snow dog than a person that's 350 because they're putting more pressure in one spot. I agree with that. Nathan. The problem, well, not the problem. This is like Champlain is so underrated. Like people don't really know about it. It doesn't have Vermont barely uses it at all. Like there's people on the shoreline, but it's mainly like just sailboats and stuff like that. I mean, there's fishing on there, but it's not. If it wasn't for the bass derbies, the bass like the big bass tournaments, no one would freaking know about it. Yeah, Champlain's doing a big is helping a lot with the lamprey population, but there's still tons of issues. Like every invasive species except for our Asian carp, knock on wood, are in that lake, so it's tough. First weekend of March on Champlain. For ice or open water? Got 20 people on now. We're cooking. And I just made a thumbnail for a video, and it's not the best thumbnail, so I'm going to have to freaking redo it, but that's okay. Well, so if you follow me on Instagram, hold on. Follow me on Instagram. I'm giving away a Circle Tackle Laker rod. So go to my Instagram and you'll see it. I am planning a big getaway. The problem is not getaway. I am planning a big get together on Winnipesaukee. I think in the month of February. I wanted to do one on Free Fishing Day, which was last weekend, but there wasn't really safe ice. I mean, there was, but that would be like 4 million people on 19 miles. So, Yep and yep. Yeah, I know Joe Holland and Precision Angling Josh are planning on doing one this year. I don't think the other guys are planning on doing one. But I checked with them to see if we were going to do it on the same day because I don't want to do that. And it feels weird planning the whole thing for myself or just to say hi, but I'll probably do it like after the Derby or something like that. But yeah, go to my Instagram, check out the giveaway, follow the rules, and I'll give away a Laker rod on Friday. And I'm working with talking to Circle Tackle right now. And trying to find the video that he had sent me. So he's going to be at the show. I'm going to be chatting with him at the booth, and he's going to be playing some of my videos that you guys have already seen. But so that's what we're chatting about. If you guys want to know some behind-the-scenes stuff. Yeah, I'd like to meet up with main trout whisperer Joe Holland at some point. I asked Joe, I'm like, oh, if you go down Sebago, let me know. We'll go together. He didn't seem very open to that for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But I keep to myself for the most part. I don't really go out with other people. I don't know why. I've done some collaborations with people, and I've gone with Precision Angling and Todd Grubbs or Fishing Grubs. But it's usually people reach out to me, or we just happen to like run into the same style of fishing. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. Yeah, your best bet is to find one of those lakes in Maine that allows it. Biggest fish I've ever caught. So saltwater would have to be the 48 inch, no, 48 inch, 38 and a half pound striped bass, which would be this one right here. And then the barracuda, which is around the same size. And then as far as freshwater, it'd have to be the 11-pound freshwater. The 11-pound lake trout I caught in Sebago this fall. I think so. I have caught a tarpon before, but it was like hooked by my dad when I was a kid, and then I landed it. But that thing was like 120 pounds, so that was massive. Yes, Vermont does have steelhead, and I just learned that last fall when I was up there jigging for Lakers, or trying to jig for Lakers. And I talked to a couple guys that have steelhead or go for steelhead. Thanks, man. Well, we've been on here for an hour, guys. So let's kill it here in the next minute. I gotta go wind down and get ready for tomorrow. Pack for tomorrow. Delete all the useless footage that I filmed today, and go from there. Why is this? All right, let's sign off, and I'll try to do this not next week, the week after. And if I'm hammering fish tomorrow night, and I have service, I am not fishing Maine tomorrow night. I don't know any cuss spots on Winnipesaukee that are locked right now that I feel comfortable sleeping overnight up there. So it's going to be a crappy video tomorrow, or warm water species video. Size. What the hell? Why is it doing that? I'm in All right. See ya. See everybody. Thanks for watching. I gotta get back to some work here before I go to bed. Stay safe. Likewise. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Maybe we can go hit the one of the setbacks there and hammer some panfish. See ya. See ya. See ya. Thanks for watching. Go play the Instagram giveaway.